It's because my greed is getting the better of me, so unconsciously. So I have developed over years. I've been doing this for almost 4 years. 4 years coming up in August now, and I have developed a unconscious awareness. So I think thoughts unconsciously. Like, I get in these spirals, and like I don't even realize that I'm doing it, and then I realize that I, just kind of, because I've been tracking myself. I literally can look at my journal and be like, oh, dude, I know the thought pattern I'm in. I need to quit that shit. And usually my thought pattern goes to greed, especially with trading. All right, so I just talked my ass off for the past 15 to 20 minutes about my trading and like all my progress, and I wasn't even recording, so the disappointment is real. Anyways, we're just gonna get into it. We'll just call it a warm-up round. Before we get into the video, just want you guys to know I am no professional trader, no financial advisor. I am none of that crap. I am not trying to teach anybody anything. I'm not trying to sell anything as of yet. But I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm literally just uploading my own personal trading results and breakdown of my own personal account metrics, just to be transparent with people. I do want to say this before we get into anything. The reason why I post my results, I feel, because a lot of people might ask themselves, like, oh, why is this guy posting his results? But why do these big gurus not post their results as consistently as this guy? Well, it's because I understand how the business and trading works, and when you prove that you have a skill set to somebody, like, I'm not talking about no mere couple $100,000 traders. I'm talking about people with real fucking money who are trading tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm trying to attract those people. So when I show, like, I only have 6 months of not live trading data, just visual metrics, 6 months of consistent every single week metrics results. So when an investor looks at that, I mean, at least this is how I would look at it, and I've talked to people who make a lot of money, and they say when they look at investing, they don't really, when they're looking at assets, they're not really looking at if they're doing it now. Like, oh, are they doing it now? No, they're looking for potential. Does this person have potential? Can this person grow in the future? If I invest into them now, what will my return be in the future? That's how investors think, and that's why they control the fucking world, right? Anyways, I'm not trying to attract anybody with mere couple $100,000 to spare, or a couple million, if that. Like, I'm not looking for anything less than $10 million with the business I'm thinking of running, just because I understand the business of trading. I can open up my own hedge funds. I can trade for other people. I can open up my own my own clientage. I can teach other people how to trade, and they can trade my own capital and investors' capital, and then I make a profit off of that. I can also be doing prop firms like everybody else does, but be super transparent, and then I can have my own company capital, and that'll fund everything, so like I don't run into these problems of not being able to pay traders who actually make money, and they're going to trade my real money because I'm going to do interview, all this kind of stuff, right? All these business ideas. That's why I do what I do on here. Anyways, enough of that bullshit that nobody cares about. We're just going to get straight into the results. So for those of you who have been with me for ever since the beginning, I don't know who you guys are, but you do. So I've had consistently, at the very minimum, 50 people watch my videos every single fucking upload. Very minimum, sometimes 20, depending on what I name the video. But, I got a pretty good base of loyal viewers. So anyways, as you guys would know, all of this data right here is my old strategy that I was using because I was super greedy. I broke that down, my thought process right about this point when I switched the strategy, why I was trading the way I was trading during this time, just because I was fucking greedy and I was trying to get rich overnight. This right here is the strategy where I'm taking a lot less trades, like literally 6 trades a week, and I'm being more patient with my gains. Although you see it's ups and downs in the graph right here with the new strategy. This is a month's worth of data, by the way. May 20th to June 16th, that's about a month. About 3 weeks and 3.5 weeks. You see that we started the strategy at negative 35% on the account. And now, at the current moment, as of 6/18/2022, we are sitting negative 23% in the account. Now, why do I seem excited about that? Is because I know overall it's still down in the account, but I have a constant gain here. I've been profitable every single week. I'm going to talk about I actually talked about it in the motovlog. I'll go into that here in just a second once we get into the charts. I talked about it in the last motovlog I did. Pretty much I just didn't commit to it because I second guessed myself. Anyways, So that'll be able to make me grow a lot faster, because even though I'm profitable every single week with 50 pip stop losses, 100 pip stop losses would be way fucking better. And the win rate's just so much better. Anyways, so we made a profit of, in a past month, about 10%, about 12%. I'm going to say 10% to be generous here. But I made 10% this past month. Now, oh my god, 10% on $700 account, that ain't shit, right? And I agree with you. But what if that's on a $1,000 account or a $5,000 account? That's not much, but that's your bills paid, and that's a start to freedom. 123 times 0.1 for 10%, that's $500. I can pay for me, my bike, a motorcycle is not expensive. I mean, if you get like a fucking nice Harley, they're gonna be literally as much as a car. But if you get something just like a little 300 or a 500, just something to cruise around on and, you know, just transport, dude, I'm paying like $130 monthly for that thing, and I only paid, with as much as I'm riding, I only paid $100 in gas, so that ain't shit, right? For a month worth of riding, as much as I ride a lot. Sometimes I get tired of riding, and I still ride, and I just love it. I'm spending a little over $100 in gas on that thing, because it's really nice on gas. It's measured in miles per gallon and not miles per gallon for me. $500 on 10%, that's risking 2% per trade. Imagine if I was risking 4%. Now double that, because if I'm profitable for every single week for 3 months straight, I'm going to, I know it could be risky, but that's what trading is. I'm going to upgrade my my position size by ×2. So I'm going to find that balance where I can have maximum gain, but the drawdowns aren't going to be so substantial to my mind to where it makes me second guess myself. So I remain having that confidence in the strategy, and I'll just be able to grow at an exponential rate. It's my personal account, so I don't have these lenient risk management rules like all these other hedge funds have. That's why you can't grow as fast with them. But anyways, if I'm risking 4% per trade instead of 2% per trade, I'd be making $1,000 a month off of $5,000. So that's substantial. That's a 20% gain off a $5,000 account. Once you reach $10,000, you can, at a point, there might become a point where I'm risking like 6 to 8% of my account per trade idea, because I'm profitable every single week. And if I continue that for the next 3 months, that's a quarter's worth of data. That's more than enough data for me to feel comfortable, to be like, okay, especially on a live account, that's more than enough data for me to feel comfortable being like, okay, well, I'm going to double my risk. I'm going to double my risk on these trade setups now, because they're really paying off for me. Like, the consistency is just insane. Anyways, we're going to skip the math because that shit's boring. You can see this week I made 5.26% on the account. Only $34, but I'm not looking at the dollar amount. I'm looking at the percentage gain, and I'm looking at, is it green every week? Or, you know, if I'm gonna have a losing week, how much am I gonna lose? Am I gonna lose 1%, 3%, 10%? You know, I need to be able to control that, and be happy with my profits. And I've been really happy with my profits, even though they're not a whole lot. I'm being consistent, like very consistent. Like, I'm profitable almost every single day. Usually in the week, there's one day where it's just not it for me. Other than that, I'm profitable every single week. Like, let's say, usually it happens, I'll be up like an insane figure amount, like 6, 8, 10% on the week, and then I'll have a losing day and it cuts that in half, and then I end the week with half of what I should have ended that week with. I just need to figure out those losing days a little bit better. I think it's because of the 100 pips. I'm looking into that more, because usually on my winning days, it'll be like, I'll have a couple losers in the secured positions and a couple winners, but I still come out profitable. So it's more of a consistent strategy base. 5.26% on the week. This month, I'm still down 2.78%. That is taking into consideration a little bit of this older strategy. Over here, you can see we took a straight up dip before we started coming back. You know, we literally hit that rock bottom point in the account. We have never been to those equity lows ever since, and pretty much it dipped and then we started going up. So it's taking into consideration this dip a little bit more. So once we start moving past the, what day was this? The 20th. So once we pass the 20th, which is going to be Monday or Tuesday, after that point, we should start seeing being profitable on the month. We are still overall down on the account, but that's okay because we're coming back. Anyways, I'm not going to go over these statistics right there because that is taking into consideration all of this older crap. Let's get into this. So, in my older video, I just kind of left that because I was talking about it. Pretty much we see that. So this trade I took, I had 50 pip stop loss on it, which I got stopped out because 50 pips is about right there. But if we had 100 pip stop loss, I still would be in the trade. Thing is, the Sunday spread would probably knock me out. And also, I don't know if this trade is going to continue back up because it could continue down. You know, we're in a huge downtrend right here, starting one anyways. So I don't know what's going to happen. You know, we do have these double tops that we hit, so we could continue. I don't know. These are all possibilities, you know, like that's why we manage our risk. But I could still be in this trade. This trade was fine with 50 pips. You see that like literally one candle took half of our fucking stop loss at 50 pips. So that's no bueno. I don't like that. This trade would have been losing anyways off the break and retest of this level. This trade, I am actually waiting till next week because I want to see a retracement back to this daily level. That's where I want to get in. That's why I have it tagged. I was back testing on this pair today. This pair right here, I talked about it in the other video. I actually had a 50 pip stop loss on this trade. But if we look at it, if I had a 100 pip stop loss, holy shit, you know, I would adjust my take profits accordingly. So I take two different positions. So on this single trade idea, I would have two different positions. Let's say I'm risking 1% per trade idea. On this trade idea, I would take two positions at 0.5% risk. You know, if you're risking 1% per trade idea, split that between two positions. I would have the same entry price, the same stop loss on both of them. I would have one take profit at 1-to-1 and another take profit at 1-to-2. And that's how I've been trading for the past month. And, you know, break and retest of the daily levels. So my risk management factors have stayed pretty much the same all throughout all my strategies. It's just the fundamentals of my entries have changed. But anyways, you see that we would have had a 100 pip stop loss here. That would have been a really good trade. But it wasn't because I had a 50 pip stop loss, so I got stopped out prematurely. Same thing on this pair. I had a 50 pip stop loss, but if you see, you know, 100 pip stop loss, it would have cleared, you know, the pullback wouldn't have to worry about it, and we would have had a 1-to-2 take profit secured. Honestly, I wouldn't count that because spread, so that spike right there probably wouldn't have even taken me out of the trade. Secured a 1-to-1 for sure, so worst case scenario on break even, but we're also still sitting at entry here, so price could just drop off this point. I don't fucking know. Same thing here. I had a 50 pip stop loss, but if you look at this, if we had a 100 pip stop loss, everything would have been fine. This trade, I don't have in anymore, but I am waiting for a retracement back to that level still. I was back testing on this pair. So funny story, on Friday, I actually decided to stop doubting myself and just commit to taking trades with 100 pip stop losses. I actually sat down today after the markets had closed. Usually on the weekends, I'll just go fucking crazy in my mind. You know, like I'll just think about a bunch of different shit with the charts, think about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking with my trading, all that kind of stuff. I literally just let my, you know, during the weekdays when the market's open, I try to keep my mind under control. You know, I try to stay neutral in everything. You know, I literally just try not to get knocked off my base level, because if I come into the trading angry one day, I am more prone to psychological mistake, you know, self-sabotaging myself, you know, making a wrong decision and costing myself a big percentage. So you got to be really disciplined. If I come in sad, same thing. If I come in like literally clinically depressed, that's a different thing. That's also why I feel like getting a motorcycle has helped me with trading, is because riding is just therapeutic. Anyways, yeah, so back to the topic here. So 100 pips, I started committing to that on Friday. I sat down all day today though, and pretty much thought to myself, like, okay, well, why am I so scared to take 100 pip stop loss positions? It's because my greed is getting the better of me. So unconsciously, so I have developed over years. I've been doing this for almost 4 years coming up in August now, and I have developed a unconscious awareness. So I think thoughts unconsciously, like I get in these spirals, and like I don't even realize that I'm doing it, and then I realize that I, you know, just kind of because I've been tracking myself, I literally can look at my journal and be like, oh dude, I know the thought pattern I'm in, I need to quit that shit. And usually my thought pattern goes to greed, especially with trading. My thing is time. I'm trying to get rich as fast as possible. So when I start looking at backtesting, I start looking at time, and I'm like, okay, well, how much time am I spending in a trade? when that shit is totally fucking irrelevant. Irrelevant, it's just a thought pattern I keep getting into because I'm greedy. I'm letting my greed take control. You need to have that unconscious awareness to really be able to catch yourself on that. But my greed keeps getting control of me. That's maybe why I'm doing 50 pip stop losses. So I'm using 2% on that risk management. 2% is good for 50 pip stop losses using overall 0.04 lots or 0.04 lot size for one trade idea. So 0.02. That risk management right there, that's good. But when I go to 100 pip stop losses, why was I afraid to commit to that? Because I was using the same stop, or not the same stop loss. I was using the same lot size that I was using for 50 pips. So my risk management was literally double what I was risking before. I didn't feel comfortable with that. So what I did was I just decided to swallow my fucking ego and set myself up for next week. I am taking 0.01 lot size. So my risk management is going to be the same with this strategy. I'm either going to win more or win the same. Actually, there's one scenario that I'm either going to lose a little bit or I'm going to win bigger than I have been winning, because 100 pip stop losses, I'm getting stopped out less prematurely from the move. So I'm going to be able to be in more winning trades, therefore increased win rate. Back testing, I have compared the two different strategies over the course of a month. I've compared because they've been ideas. 100 pip stop losses has been in my mind ever since after that first week of trading. Been tracking that. That's a variable I've been very focused on tracking. Over the past month, every single weekend, I've done hundreds, maybe even thousands of trades comparing the two different data sets. And I found that even on pencil and paper, back testing in TradingView is not... It's to be said on the internet not to be reliable, so you need to test it in real data. But even on pen and paper, it's a little more than a break-even win rate, so it's got an edge. But if backtesting on TradingView is not to be taken seriously, what's it like in live trading data? Because I know for a fact my win rate in live trading data with 50 pips is a lot different than on pencil and paper with 50 pips. So taking that into consideration, I could be making more or losing about the same that I would. Nothing special about it. Like, that's literally how my risk management is. Well, that's doing the math and testing and the putting in the work to understand my strategy. Those are the outcomes that I could come with, taking in all the variables. Of course, there could be something that I'm miscalculating here, but just filling pages in my journal and just tracking all these different variables over the course of a month, those are the only possible outcomes that I've come with. I mean, there is a couple other outcomes, but they just kind of hit my ego. Pretty much, I would just lose the entire account. That's always a possibility, no matter who the fuck you are as a trader. That's always a possibility, is no matter if you have the risk management on point, you could still lose your entire account because slippage. It is just a possibility. That's the name of the game. It sucks, but that's the name of the game. Anyways, we're just going to go through these, and nothing special here. You see that I'm waiting for this pair to come back. This pair, you see that 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip take profit. And anyways, yeah, that's been the video. The biggest thing I learned this week, just fucking commit to 100 pip stop loss trades. Just commit to that huge stop loss. For me, that's huge. For a lot of you guys, that could be small. But for me, that is a huge stop loss, and sometimes I don't feel comfortable with that. But I just had to adjust my risk management, drop my ego, and go to 0.01 lot size instead of using 0.02. Maybe after about 2 to 3 weeks of being consistent with this, if I'm profitable every single week for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe I'll think about upping my lot size by 0.01. And then maybe after that, maybe every other week, depending on the results, because at that point, it's going to be a month and a half of data. And then on top of that, I'm going to have more than 2 months worth of consistently profitable data every single week if the plan works out. Plan doesn't always work out. Expect the plan to go off the rails, so make a new plan. But that is just the way things are going now, and as I see it, things are going very well. That's been the video, guys. Pretty boring stuff. And yeah, you guys know the drill. I'll see you in the next video.